Welcome to Nkari's Quest, the journey of ancient mysteries and secrets.
The evening sun dips low, casting long shadows over the Ejagam village. Young Nkari sits by the fire with his grandfather, Ada-Ita. The flames crackle and dance, casting a warm glow on Ada-Ita's weathered face as he begins to speak, his voice low and filled with mystery. "Papa," Nkari begins, curious. "I know that Ira means the number 3, but is there something more to it?" Ada-Ita smiles mysteriously. "Much more, Nkari. Ira marks the shift from one age to another. It's the root of Ira. It's also a symbol of judgment and renewal. Across cultures, it holds power, as if it echoes something ancient, something beyond us." Nkari's eyes widen as he listens, intrigued by the depth of his grandfather's words. The next day, driven by curiosity, Nkari convinces his friend Adam to join him on a journey to the edge of the forest, where the legendary Atalara stones are rumored to rest. As they approach the dense forest, they catch the eye of Elder Ekong, an Ibibio elder who calls them over. "Young ones," he says, raising an eyebrow, "you look like you're up to something. I hope you're not thinking of venturing too far into those woods alone." Nkari shuffles his feet sheepishly. "We were curious. We heard about the Atalara stones and wanted to see if they were real." Elder Ekong laughs, then nods in understanding. His expression turns serious as he shares his own wisdom about Ira. In Hebrew, he explains, Yira means fear, but not ordinary fear. It's a reverent fear, the kind you feel in the presence of something powerful, like Yah himself. The English Bible calls it the fear of the Lord, which is translated from Yah. It's the kind of fear that commands respect. Edem chimes in eagerly. In Ogoni tradition, Yira Yi is for oaths. It's a vow you don't break. People fear the consequences. Nkari feels a thrill run through him as he realizes that Yira is more than a number. It's a shared symbol of respect, judgment, and power. That night, as Nkari and Ada-Ita sit once more by the fire, Nkari recounts what he learned from Elder Ekong. "Grandfather," he says, "Elder Ekong explained that Yira means fear in Hebrew, the fear of something powerful, something divine, and in some cultures it's used in oaths. It's almost like a judgment." Ada-Ita nods, clearly impressed by his grandson's curiosity. "Yes, Nkari. Ira speaks to awe and reverence, and there is another connection. Ira is the root for Ra, the ancient god of the sun, a symbol of life and judgment in Egypt. In all these meanings, we see Ira as both a promise and a warning. It is the essence of respect for powers beyond our understanding." The following day, Nkari and Edem decide to sneak back to the edge of the forest. They know they can't see the Atalara stones without a guide, but something compels them to get closer, to feel the energy of the place that holds such deep meaning. As they move cautiously, the sounds of the forest seem to quiet around them. The sunlight filters through the trees, casting an otherworldly glow. It's as if the forest itself is alive, watching them, testing their courage. Edom whispers, "Do you feel that, Nkari? It's like something's here with us." Nkari nods, his voice hushed. "Yes, it's like the spirit of Yira itself is in the air, watching. The fear Elder Ekong spoke of, it's real." They stand in silence, sensing a presence just beyond their sight, a feeling that the Atalara stones lie hidden, observing them, but not revealing themselves. They feel a deep reverence and an unspoken invitation to return one day with a guide.
"For as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the great fish, so will the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth."
It's everywhere, this number 3. Ira in our culture, Ra in Egypt, and the Holy Trinity. Across cultures, Ira speaks of new eras, fear, and awe. It reminds us to respect what we cannot control. That evening, they return to the village, their minds filled with wonder. Nkari sits again with Ada Ita by the fire, feeling humbled and inspired by his adventure. "Grandfather," he says reflectively, "I think I understand now." Yira holds the power of judgment, respect, and beginnings. It's in the stones, in the fear of the Lord, and even in Ra, the Egyptian god of creation. Ada Ita smiles, seeing that Nkari has truly absorbed the lesson. Exactly, Nkari. The power of Ira lives in all of these things. It's a reminder that judgment and change are not always visible. They can be felt in silence, in reverence, even in fear. And one day, perhaps, you will be ready to visit the Atalara stones with a guide. As Nkari lies under the stars that night, he closes his eyes and imagines the stones, the symbols of Ra, the Trinity, and the weight of Yira itself. He feels connected to something ancient, something that crosses time and space. In every culture, across every border, Ira is more than a number. It is a bridge to the unknown, a respect for divine, and a symbol of change. Nkari drifts off to sleep, knowing that he has touched a mystery that will guide him for years to come.